Aspirin synthesis, lab activity number 3. The materials we needed for this lab activity were 400 ml beaker, 2 grams of acetic acid, 5 milliliters of acetic anhydride, 5 drops of 85% phosphoric acid, 2 milliliters of distilled water, glass rod, 6 milliliters of 95% ethanol, and an Erlenmeyer flask. The procedure for this was we first heated up 150 milliliters of water inside the 400 milliliter beaker, then we added 2 grams of salicylic acid into the Erlenmeyer flask. Next, we dispensed 5 milliliters of acetic anhydride into the flask. After that, we added 5 drops of 85% phosphoric acid. Then we mixed reactants and placed flask into the beaker containing boiling water for about 8 minutes. And then we removed flasks from beaker and added 2 milliliters of distilled water. More procedure. After this, we added 4 milliliters of extra water to the flask. And we let everything cool down for about 10 minutes and still the contents to the glass. Next, we collected the solid product after the filtration and gave it a circular shape for simulating an aspirin film. Analysis questions. Define reaction media is a chemical reaction system which lacks the presence of a solvent. It is also a substance or material in which something exists or grows. Catalysts are substances that can increase the rate of a reaction, making it occur way faster. And reaction conditions include conditions such as time, temperature, pressure, pH level, UVR, oxidation, and/or reduction. Analysis questions. 3 main types of organic reactions: addition reaction, which includes 2 reactants that produce 1 product, and it involves unsaturated compounds, and a pi bond breaks forming 2 sigma bonds. A substitution reaction, which is replacing 1 group or 1 atom with another one. An elimination reaction, which eliminates 2 atoms that come from saturated molecules and forms multiple bonds. And rearrangement, which happens during the transition state of a reaction involving carbocation, and one reactant reorganizes bonds or atoms. Analysis question. Main products and byproducts. The main product is the result of the combination of the raw material and the new element that's going to be implemented on the place where the carbon-hydrogen bond breaks. And in this case, it was the salicylic acid. And the byproduct is kind of the residue on the reaction and can be combined with other substances during the reaction that are not necessarily taking place on that reaction, and in this case was the acetic acid. Now, what type of functional group did you obtain? On the acetylsalicylic acid, we find that the functional groups of it were carboxylic acid and ester together with a benzene ring, and the acetic acid, we classify it as a carboxylic acid. And what is the main use for this compound? Well, the aspirin acid is this acid is commonly known as the aspirin and is used for reducing fever, moderate pain from headaches, muscle aches, common cold, and toothaches. In some cases or conditions, it also helps reduce swelling and pain. Side effects. It can be cramping, bloody urine, changes in consciousness, convulsions, diarrhea, fainting, difficult breathing, indigestion, and nausea or vomiting. What other uses can be given to this compound? Acetylsalicylic acid can have other uses apart from curing a person's pain. Some of these are removing stains from clothing, helping your garden grow, calming down or reducing redness, and more from stains and bites. Why does this compound have such odors? Because it sometimes starts smelling like vinegar, especially when it gets salt or when it mixes with water and decomposes on your stomach. This happens because it is composed mainly with salicylic acid, and it contains also some acetic acid, and vinegar is dilute acetic acid. What are the pros and cons of using aspirin? The pros, it contains anti-inflammatory hormones and can reduce cancer risks, can reduce risks of cardiovascular conditions and prevent strokes after a 10-year use. And cons, bleeding, stomach problems, or allergy towards aspirin. Should children or adolescents use aspirin? Explain why. Children or adolescents under 19 years old should not take aspirin because scientists have proven a direct relation between ingesting aspirin or other salicylate contain medications and say that children that does this have a higher risk of acquiring the fatal condition known as Reyes syndrome, on which all the organs from your body are affected. What products contain aspirin? Pepto-Bismol, Alka-Seltzer, and Malox. And these are our conclusions. Thank you.